Good morning. This morning I'm in Broadway, one of the quintessential Cotswold destinations, along with places like Bibury, Burford, Bourton, all those Bs, and Stowe, and the Slaughters. And one of the problems with the Cotswolds is that there are a few key destinations, maybe 5 or 6 places that almost everybody has to go to. So the net result is they are always quite busy. You kind of accept that in the towns, but one thing it does produce is a bit of congestion getting between the two, and also the roads between these villages are pretty dull, so it's better if you can avoid them. And today I've got a route that takes you from Broadway down to Bibury, avoids all the main roads except for a tiny little stretch, mainly traffic free. There's the odd little bit of traffic, but nothing that will cause you any problems. And it also showcases some quintessential Cotswold countryside, because the Cotswolds is about the villages, but it's also about the countryside, which is genuinely attractive and quite unique. So anyway, I'll get back on the bike and I'll give you some specific directions, but it's a really easy one to follow. So yeah, see you back on the bike. So this is Broadway, ever popular, especially on a sunny day, and generally a good place to visit. Good selection of places to have a bite to eat, coffee, very, very attractive, very, very popular. But this isn't really about Broadway. I'll do another video on Broadway because I've taken some footage of that. But today this is about the journey from Broadway to Bibury, avoiding all the congestion on the main roads. So just come down to Broadway High Street, and then we're just going to chuck a left here at the Broadway restaurant, and then we'll get on our way and we'll start leaving the traffic behind and the congestion. So for those people who like a bit of comfort of the safety jacket, of the safety vest rather, of the sat nav, in your sat nav you will basically need to village hop. So from Broadway you'll need to put in Snows Hill, and then from Snows Hill put in the Cotswold Farm Park, and after that put in where would I say Clapham on the Hill, and then Sherborne, and then after that Bibury. So it's a pretty easy run. So already you can see the traffic melting away, a little bit coming the other way, but in the main we're now in fairly traffic free territory. It's funny, everywhere you look in the Cotswold there's beautiful buildings. After a while, when you live here, you tend just to sail past them without really noticing, but very attractive. Anyway, so the journey itself is pretty much one straight road. So you cross a few main roads as you go, but in the main what makes it easy to navigate is you just keep going straight. So you can switch off and don't bother with sat nav and don't bother with maps. It's that easy. Just remember a few key villages and you're away. Anyway, I'll shut up and let you just enjoy some of the scenery as we pop out the back of Broadway, and then I'll pick up later on with you. So we're climbing now into the Cotswold Hills. Just for reference, it's Saturday afternoon, Saturday the 29th of June. So pretty much as congested as it could get on the main roads, on the 429, Fossway, and other roads like that. So this is middle of the day on a end of June day. So everywhere else is going to be pretty rammed with tourists. So you can see what I mean about being relatively traffic free. And decent tarmac. It's not the best, but it's decent enough. So it kind of works. You have a sense of freedom and can enjoy what the Cotswolds has got to offer without sitting behind endless rows of cars. Get on top of the Cotswold Hills and then the countryside will open up a little bit. So we've just crossed the 4077, Stowe to Tewkesbury Road. A little bit of traffic on it, but then you're back out into this. So this really is a nice little run. I've actually noticed quite a few bikes on this road today. Obviously people are sussing it out. And there's just lots of little vistas across the Cotswold Hills. Absolutely fabulous. They're not completely traffic free rather. This is England after all. We don't do traffic free, but it's not constant nose to tail all the time, which gives you a chance to actually enjoy the ride, have a look at some of the views, rather than being on a road where you're constantly aware of everything around you all the time, which can be a bit draining. Just do a tiny bit of this. .429 is one of those roads that is almost a necessary evil, in that it does link quite a few places together, but if you can avoid it, always good to do that. So what we're going to do, we take a left now. So your sat nav, you should have put in Clapton on the hill or Sherborne. I'd suggest most probably Sherborne is the one. A little bit tight up here, so just exercise some caution as you come up here. If you meet something coming the other way, they can sometimes be shifted a little bit, but not today. So we're back onto relatively traffic free, which is nice. Again, a little bit more climbing up onto the hills. Always a good thing to do. Quite a lot of high hedges and tree cover at the moment. You come over here in the winter or the autumn or early spring, you do get some quite nice views, whereas the hedges are slightly thinner. It does open up a little bit up here anyway, so you can start seeing some of the decent routes. As I said, basically, even at every junction you come to, just think to yourself all the time, need to keep going straight. So, there we go. Let's follow this one along here. As I say, opening up quite nicely now amongst the trees. I feel I'm being very repetitive now, but here you are, 29th of June. Not a car on the road, open countryside, sunshine. I genuinely don't think it gets much better than this. Fabulous. So we're heading to Bibury. Bibury itself obviously incredibly well known. Even so well known that it appears on most people's British passports as one of the images in there. I think there's about 7 or 8 images in the British passport on the various pages, and Arlington Row at Bibury is one of those because it's an iconic building, an iconic village. Interestingly, Bibury was always mobbed with Japanese tourists, and I didn't realise until about 6-7 months ago. The reason for that is that when the Emperor came over here, he visited Bibury, and simply for that fact, it's kind of on the Japanese tourist itinerary that they kind of, if you come here, you have to visit it. So the buses will turn up, 50-60 tourists will get out, take the customary obligatory picture, have a wander, then get back in their coach, and off they go to the next one. It's fairly formulaic, but I can understand that. I'm sure we're exactly the same when we go abroad, but it does explain to me why you get so many Japanese tourists here. I think it's a national crime. I think you get locked up if you come to England and don't go to Bibury. Everybody stopping for their selfies. Lovely river, Arlington Road, just up off there to the left. Look how busy that is. Unbelievable. It's very picturesque, in fairness. It's just so rammed all the time with people. Then I suppose that's the same of any any tourist place anywhere in the world. This is the selfie capital of England, I think. It is beautiful, but I do think if you want to see it, you want to see this in a nice day in the autumn or the spring. You don't really want to see it. You don't really want to see it now. Too busy. Too difficult to park. Cool, that van's done well. He couldn't believe his luck, someone was coming out. What, mind you. I think he really knows how to park. That's it, have another go. He's done it again. Oh dear. Bless him. Oh well, not to worry. Oh dear. Trout farm. One of the many coaches. You can wait there, jump. So there you go. That is Broadway to Bibury by the back roads, avoiding all the nonsense on the Fossway.